the program in a few minutes. So find your tables and your seats and grab your drinks, and we'll begin shortly. Thanks, everybody.
First of all, I'd like to thank all our guests here for supporting Veterans in Politics Gala Ball. Mayor Berkeley, thank you very much for attending. We certainly appreciate it. Thank you. And all the other guests as well. We were supposed to have Lee Taylor as our MC. Unfortunately, he's in Florida at Mar-a-Lago, and he wasn't able to make it. But we did think of somebody that would be absolutely perfect for the MC, and I'd like to introduce you to Judge Nadia Kroll.
Thank you everybody for being here. Welcome to the 8th Biennial Valentine's Day Ball and Gala, hosted by Veterans in Politics. Go, woo! If you are able to stand, please do so, because we're going to welcome Dean Sayer and his color guard, which happens to be coincidentally from my alma mater, El Dorado High School. Please. Let's go. Go. Word. March! Hold! Left! Right! Ready! Others! Ready! Hut! Reset! Others!
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what's so proudly we hid at the twilight's last gleaming? Whose low stripes and bright stars through perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ran the flag was still there, still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, and the home of the
Ready! Others! Ready! Hut! Order! Others! Ready! Hut! Right! Face! Forward! March! Thank you. just want to thank him for all of his service, and we really appreciate everything you've done. If you want to say a few words, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to be here tonight as a veteran of the United States Air Force. Would you join me, please, in saying our Pledge of Allegiance this evening? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Everyone have a great evening. Thank you.
We'd also like to thank all the veterans who are here who served in our United States military. We thank you for your service in defending this incredible country in which we live. Please stand if you're a veteran so you can be recognized. Please, thank you. Hey, we also have a lot of special people here today, including elected officials. I'd like to start with our mayor, Mayor Shelley Berkeley. Mayor Joe Hardy, is he here yet? I really think that Supreme Court Justice Patty Lee, her wonderful husband. Myself, Judge Veronica Barisic is here as well. You can stand. Judge Mari Holiday. Judge Adrian Rincon Weiss. Judge John Mercer. Judge Mary Perry. Judge Amy Madison. Judge Susan Waltham. Judge Anna Alvinson. Judge Joanna Fisher. Judge Karen Maxey. Judge Christopher Cannon. Judge Michelle Lavitz. Judge Crystal Bradford. Judge Michelle Fiore. Judge Jennifer Swartz. Judge Maureen Monte. Judge Jessica Goody. Judge Bill Henderson. Judge Matt Walker. Judge Jessica Peterson. Judge Timothy Williams. Delta Henderson City Councilwoman Carrie Cox. Las Vegas City Councilwoman Frances Allen Flinsky. Las Vegas City Councilwoman Nancy Broom. Clark County Republican Chairwoman Jill Douglas. Is there any elected official that was missed? Bueller? No. I also want to introduce all of our candidates here. We have Mayor Joe Hardy. Matthew Winterhoff for governor. Dr. Ari Nagy, Congressional District. Cody Whipple, Congressional District 4. James Lockheed, Congressional District 1. We have Luke McCarthy for City Council, Ward 2. We have Shannon Nordstrom, City Council, Ward 2. We have Las Vegas City Councilwoman Frances Allen Flinsky, Ward 4. Las Vegas City Councilwoman Nancy Broom, Ward 6. David Marlin, Las Vegas City Council, Ward 6. Henderson Justice Court, Department 3. Jessica Green, Las Vegas Municipal Court. Kelly Quinn, Assembly District 5. Pastor Birch, Henderson Municipal Court, Department 1. Department D as in Delta. Judge Michelle Fiore for Corrupt Justice and Peace. District Court Department 17. Judge Maureen Monte for District Court Department 28. Judge Jessica Whitty for District Court Department 26. We have Judge Jessica Peterson for District Court Department 8. Judge Carrie Maxey, Family Division Department N. Or not yet, but they're interchangeable. Judge Chris Cannon, North Las Vegas Municipal Court, Department 1. Judge Joanna Fisher, Department 31 in District Court. Keeping the aviation theme, Judge Mary Perry, Family Division Department Papa. Judge Ronnie Barasich, District Court Department 5. Judge Michelle Levitt, District Court Department 12. Judge Peterson, Family Division Department R as in Romeo. Judge Michelle Mercer, Family Division Department Z as in Zulu. Judge Matt Walker, Las Vegas Municipal Court Department 1. And Tim Trevler for Department of the Family Division E as in Echo. Patricia Barr, Family Division Department D as in Delta. Christine Brewer, Family Division Department S. Thank you for staying with me on this. We have a lot of people here. We have a lot of fun people. Daniel Tarney, District Court Department 28. We have Austin Goldmont, District Court Department 8. Alex Black, District Court Department 29. Martina Bauhaus, District Court Department 23. We have Robert Kerr for District Court Department 13. We have Adam Davis for District Court Department 13. We have Pete Bell, District Court Department 26. We have Trent Richards, Henderson Justice Court Department 4. We have Gary Thompson, Henderson Municipal Court Department 1. Amanda Pellizzari, Las Vegas Municipal Court Department 1. Alicia Murphy, Las Vegas Municipal Court Department 2. Brandon Saeed, Clark County Recorder candidate. Harris for Senate District 8. Steve Morella for Clark County Recorder. Eric Lee for Senate District 9. And Morgan Shelby, Congressional District 1. Any candidate here who was not announced, so we want to make sure we announce all the candidates. We also want to thank our sponsors and ticket donors and table donors. Some of them aren't here, but they were gracious and kind enough to donate. That's Mayor Shelley Berkeley, Susan Bacham, Sarah Hummel, Dr. Ari Nagy, Congressional candidate, Tom Letizia. We have our district attorney, Scott Wilson. Commissioner Jim Gibson, Judge Amy Maston, Judge Marty Parladay, Judge Veronica Barasich, Frank Friends, Sabrina Friends, Crystal Eller, Judge Chris Cannon, Judge Noreen DeMonte, candidate Lance Hendrick, candidate Jessica Green, candidate Alicia Murphy, candidate Shannon Nordstrom, Judge Terry Maxey, Judge Amy Wilson, Judge Jacob Reynolds, Judge Jacqueline Booth, Judge Diana Sullivan, Judge John McCooper, Taiwan Craft, and if we can make flowers by Michelle for the centerpieces, they're lovely, they're red, white, and blue. And In-N-Out Burger, and Steve Burgers. Alright, so we're also now going to have Letters of Politics present their year wrap-up for 2025. Thank you, everybody.
Hey folks, My name is Steve Sampson, President of Veterans in Politics, and I'm here with
Stephanie Phillips, Political Affairs Director. We've done 84 shows this year.
We've exposed the lack of handicap parking in the city of Las Vegas. We also did a video of me in a wheelchair showing how hard it was to get from the city of Las Vegas Muni Court to parking crossing over Main Street. We also exposed issues with the Child Protective Services and Department of Family Services. We also exposed some judges that weren't for work.
We did 44 live videos.
8th Biennial Valentine's Day Ball with den mothers and fed the homeless. We also celebrated our 4th annual block party. We also marched in the Veterans Day Parade.
I've been here as a co-host with Steve for a year now.
For the past 2 years, we have been giving toys to schools, and we testified before the city council.
We went down to Clark County Commission, and they have a lot of oversight over these county offices and CPS and DCFS. All these agencies, they need oversight because there are some things that go on there with some of their employees that, in my opinion, are horrific.
We also exposed eminent domain at the North Las Vegas Airport at the Clark County Commission.
We did go down and advocate for these owners of the hangars at the city of North Las Vegas Airport, also the Henderson.
We also exposed the cat fight in Henderson City Council, and that was a doozy. We also exposed the Clark County Republican Party chairman, and now we have a new Clark County Republican Party chairwoman. And we were at the school board trustee exposing a teacher who misbehaved. And then we exposed the Las Vegas Police Protection Associations. I just want to tell everybody about the events that we have done. We're still planning, and we continue to plan our 8th Biennial Valentine's Day Ball, which is going to be fun at the Suncoast. We have officially this year participated in 2 Veterans Treatment Corps program, thanks to Matt Walker. And we have continued to build the Veterans in Politics YouTube channel. And if anybody have been on the Veterans in Politics YouTube channel, not only would you see our live shows that we do after we court observe, you'll see our talk show, and you also would see court videos of different interaction with judges. And advise anybody, because next year is a big judicial year, to go on the Veterans in Politics YouTube channel and watch some of these judges in action.
Steve wrote this for those litigants who don't have an attorney, and most people go in pro se and they don't have an attorney and can't afford one. And this book really will help you navigate that system.
And guys, we also attended the Nevada Judicial Discipline Commission, which those things are heart-wrenching. We have testified in front of the legislature. We have testified in front of Boulder City Council, Henderson City Council, Las Vegas City Council, North Las Vegas City Council, Nevada Parole Board, Nevada Judicial Selection Commission. But one of the things that we've built this year, which is our consultant firm, the VIPI consultant firm, and to date, we have 8 sitting judges that we have contracted with. And the purpose of this that we're doing here today is to just inform you that we are just not one of those organizations that just pop up one minute and go away the next, or pop up for different subjects and you don't hear anything about it. We are constantly involved from January to December. We are constantly involved in this community. Why? We love this community. We love it. I've been here 30 years. You've been here 32 years. This is our home. And when you've been here that long, you want to take some type of pride in your community. And I invite anybody to join Veterans in Politics or join Den Mothers and take pride in your community. We want to thank everybody for allowing us into your homes, into your work, because we just want to make this place that we call our home a better place.
So I just also want to thank all the spouses and significant others here and all the people who are there supporting your loved ones. We really appreciate you. So you have to stand. Please stand. You're silent supporters. Come on, Dad. We also want to welcome the mayor to say a few words.
Bright lights said it's gonna set my soul on fire. Got a hold on money that's ready to burn, so get those stakes up higher. There's a lot of pretty women waiting out there. They're all living the devil may care, and I'm just a devil with love slayer. So viva la
That was the perfect song. Hi, everybody. I'm Shelley Berkeley, the mayor of the fabulous city of Las Vegas. It is my great pleasure to be here, and there's a few reasons for that. One of them, of course, when Steve Sampson asks you to come someplace, it's a really bad thing to say no to him. So, we have got the most extraordinary, bizarre friendship, but I really treasure it, and I know how hard he works for our veterans, so I'm very appreciative of that. Of course, a shout out to Stephanie, who is just amazing and keeps Steve in line, which is a major production, so that's good. The second reason is because of our veterans and how important they are to us. When I was in Congress, I was on the Veterans Affairs Committee, and I got to know our veterans very, very well. And I came to realize that after their service to our country, we don't always do what is right by our veterans. And I promised myself and the veterans in this community that I would do everything I could to give them a hand up. And we have done just that. The VA hospital in North Las Vegas is one of the best VA hospitals in the country. And I am so very proud to have been able to get the funding for that extraordinary, extraordinary facility. Before we had a hospital here, all of our veterans had to go to Long Beach in order to have their healthcare needs met. That is no longer the case. No veteran that lives in Las Vegas has to travel hundreds of miles to get the health care that not only they deserve, but they are owed. But that's in the past. Let me tell you what me and my colleague, who is here today, Frances Allen Polensky, Councilwoman, have done and are doing with and for our veterans. We just recently passed, not an ordinance, but we passed funding to build a homeless shelter, wraparound shelter for our homeless veterans. 20% of the homeless people living on our streets have served our country admirably with honor and distinction, and nobody that has made that sacrifice should be living on the streets of the city of Las Vegas. I attended a groundbreaking with the councilwoman, I keep calling her congresswoman, but councilwoman, a groundbreaking for a Veterans Memorial at Thunderbird Park, which is in her city council ward. The reason we are doing this is there were the most marvelous statues of veterans from every war that they have fought in for this country. And it was located at the Grant Sawyer State Building. The Grant Sawyer State Building is closed, and we needed a home for those remarkable statues. We have one now, and we will be building, when we relocate the statues, an extraordinary pavilion and a place that the veterans can go and know they are valued, they are honored, they are cared for, and our community says thank you. I also see candidate Luke McCarthy for council, glad that he's here. I want you to know this. Your city council, your mayor, your city of Las Vegas knows what is right and what we should be doing for our veterans. And we are committed as a council in delivering what we have promised and what these men and women who have served, who have sacrificed, and now are looking to us for support. It is the least we can do, and it is an honor for me to be in a position to continue working with our veterans and giving them the life that they deserve from their fellow countrymen, and the thanks that they deserve as well. And with that, I hope you have a wonderful evening tonight. Everybody looks so good.
Thank you, Mayor. We appreciate you. You are so fabulous. My hero. If we could just have a moment of silence in remembering all the veterans who served us and everyone else who cannot be here today. Thank you. Thank you. Please enjoy your dinner. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to have the general. We have the general here? Yes? All right. General Devontae. There's the general. Let's do this. All right.
All right. That's a pretty cool walk-up music, right? Good evening, distinguished guests, colleagues, fellow citizens, everyone that is in office. It's awesome to see our two great mayors here and everybody that is also running for office. I realized during the introduction period that I'm the only person, along with my wife, not a candidate for any office. I obviously came to the wrong door. It's really an honor to be with all of you today to talk about something that I feel very deeply about. And it's important to our nation. And that's the role and value of our veterans in the political process and elected leadership. I saw Stephanie walking in the back, and I was really excited that she asked me to come and give a presentation to you very quickly this evening. I'm really excited to do that. And then about 3 days ago, she said, hey, it'd be really cool if you wore your formal dress outfit, which invoked a significant amount of anxiety. David and I retired about 5 years ago. And then at 1 o'clock, all the anxiety faded away, and it was great excitement that it fit. So it was very cool. In space. Listen, for nearly 250 years, I think all of us know that the United States has relied on the men and women willing to step forward and serve something greater than themselves. They have stood watch in the deserts and the jungles, on the ships at sea and in aircraft overhead, and in quiet posts around the globe. They've carried the weight of responsibility, not for personal gain, but for the protection of an idea. an idea that freedom, self-governance, and democracy are worth defending. But service to our country does not and should not end when the uniform is hung in the closet for the last time. Instead, I believe our democracy is the strongest when those who have sworn to defend the Constitution also help then shape the policies, the laws, and decisions that protect it. You know, throughout our own history, veterans have played an essential role in the formation of those policies and our political leadership. From George Washington to Ulysses S. Grant, John F. Kennedy to Dwight Eisenhower, and more recently, John McCain to Tammy Duckworth, and many other veterans have helped guide our nation during moments of uncertainty and transformation. Their service did not just prepare them to lead troops, it prepared them to lead people. So why does veteran participation in this process matter so much? And I'd like to give you what I believe are 5 simple standards on why veterans matter in the political process. The first is service before self. Veterans bring a deep understanding of service before self. In the military, the mission always matters, and it comes first. The team always matters, and success is measured not by individual recognition, but by collective accomplishment. The broader team comes before self. And that mindset's incredibly valuable in public office, where our leaders are entrusted to make decisions that affect not us, but millions of lives. The second trait that I like is accountability. And veterans understand accountability. In military service, responsibility is not abstract. Decisions have consequences, often immediate, sometimes irreversible. Veterans learn that early in their life, leadership is not about authority, it's about ownership. Good leaders accept responsibility. They accept responsibility when things go wrong, and they share the credit when things go right. And that level of accountability is something every citizen deserves from those who represent us. The third thing is, veterans bring experience working across differences. Our armed forces are one of the most diverse institutions in our entire country. Service members come from every state, from Oregon to Florida, from Nevada to Maine, every background, every political viewpoint, every walk of life. You don't get a choice, you serve them and you lead them. So you have to know how to work across differences. Despite all of that, they're united by mission, mutual trust. Veterans understand that success requires cooperation, it expects respect, and the ability to focus on shared goals rather than personal or partisan divisions. The fourth point is veterans understand the real cost of policy decisions. They have witnessed firsthand the consequences of conflict and diplomacy and national security strategy. They understand that decisions made in the legislative chambers and the executive offices often carry human consequence for the service members and their families. That perspective brings a seriousness and a thoughtfulness to decision-making that's incredibly valuable in our government. And the fifth and final trait is trust. For it's trust that is the foundation of military service. Our service members trust their leaders to make sound decisions. Leaders who trust their teams to carry out their missions with professionalism and integrity. And without trust, units fail, missions fail, and lives are put at risk. If I could, I want to tell you a real quick war story. So in June of 2015, in the height of the counter-ISIS fight across North Africa and the Levant, several ISIS members attacked a beach resort in Tunisia, just near Sousse, and they slaughtered 38 people on the beach on vacation. 30 of those were citizens of the United Kingdom on holiday. At that time, I happened to be the base commander at RAF Lakenheath in the UK. It was the largest fighter wing in all of Europe. And several of the people that surrounded our base were directly affected by the lives lost on the beach that day in the attack. Cousins and uncles and relatives and friends. Almost immediately, our two governments went to work, the CIA, the MI6, Interpol, tracking down the people who perpetuated the attack. And as they began to close in our base was activated to prepare military options for the National Command Authority. And I was on the treadmill in the gym, and I got a phone call, and they said, Colonel Biden, President Obama, and Prime Minister Cameron have approved the attack. You can attack tonight. I mean, that was a pretty badass call. So I said, let me finish my run, because I'm about to set a personal record, and we'll get right on that. So I had my senior Top Gun leader who'd been working for weeks planning the missions. We briefed it multiple times. We'd flown in the simulators, and about midnight that night, we launched out under the cover of darkness. We started 7 F-15E Strike Eagles fully loaded to the gills with air-to-ground ordnance. We decided it was going to take 55 precise munitions dropped on a terror compound in Libya outside of Tripoli to kill over 80 ISIS insurgents who are about to graduate and go into Western Europe and carry out more attacks. So my senior Top Gun leader, we start 7 jets in order to get 6 of them airborne. We take the best 6 up to the tankers. We run through the tankers, the best 4, the original 4, the prime 4, all pass their tanker checks, and they press in across the English Channel into France, and the other 2 go back home. This is all pretty standard procedure for an attack of this consequence. I figured the president was watching, so we had to get it right. Somewhere north of Paris, my flight leader, the #1 guy, has an emergency malfunction with his airplane and has to turn around and return to England. So 3 of them go down. And you couldn't have scripted this any differently, but the #2 leader, who was a lieutenant colonel at the time, also has an in-flight emergency and returns. And the #3 leader, who's now the next most senior Top Gun graduate, has an emergency just south of France, turns around and has to come back to England. They can't go anyplace else, they gotta come home, because they happen to have 30,000 pounds of weapons on board. You don't want to put that in France. So the one remaining fighter jet is being flown by a 26-year-old new fighter pilot who has never seen a minute of combat time. So it's 2:30 in the morning. I'm in our war planning room watching this live. We have drone feed from our agency friends, and my squadron commanders that are working for me are frantically, working through this. And this young fighter pilot, who's about 26 or 27, calls up on the radio and says, I got a plan. And in the moments of all of this chaos, they had gone into their weapon system, completely reprogrammed all the targets, working with people on the ground, working with over-the-horizon controllers, and they've redesignated all the targets in their weapon system. And he says, I want to go down and press. I want to do the mission. So I don't say a word. I let my subordinate commanders come to me, and they say, boss, we made him ready. He passed our criteria. We trust him. He's ready to go. And I looked around and I said, okay, I picked you guys to be my commanders. We've worked together for a long time. I trust your decision. Send it. And this 26-year-old fighter pilot winds up flying right over the target, hits all 55 desired points of munitions. Impact is what we call them, VIPs. Circles 3 times, works with the interagency folks, completely erases 80 insurgent fighters, turns around and flies them. It was probably one of the most intense moments of my life, and I was nowhere but safe in a chair watching this young fighter pilot go do their mission. But I knew I had trusted the team. I knew I had trusted the people that we had trained to be at every level of leadership. I had confidence in our training systems that prepared that young fighter pilot to go do that mission. And again, it is probably one of the most surreal decisions I've ever made in my life, and I was closer. I was closer to a computer than I was to any harm ever coming my way. So the point of that story was, besides it's kind of cool, like, and then the 4 stars were like, you really trust him? I'm like, yeah, I really trust him. Worked out good. Stories like that, I think, remind us that leadership's not theoretical. Whether you're the squadron commander, whether you're the flight leader, whether you're the aircraft commander, or whether you're the base commander like I was in that case, it's personal. It's human. and it's built on credibility earned through action, which in this case, that young fighter pilot clearly earned it that day. Now, it's important to be clear that just because you're a veteran and just because you've had some military service does not automatically make you a great political leader. But the values developed through service, in my opinion, create powerful foundations for leadership when you're combined with humility, character, and a commitment to public good. Our nation faces complex challenges. These challenges require leaders who can think strategically, they can act decisively, and remain grounded in the values that unite us as Americans. In encouraging veterans, like this organization does, to engage in civic life, whether it's voting or advocating, advising, running for office, getting involved in a nonprofit that you care about, it strengthens our democracy. Their voices bring perspectives shaped by sacrifice, teamwork, and national service. But I'd also say there's one more really important reason that veteran participation matters, is that it helps bridge the gap between the military and the society it serves. Right now, less than half of 1% of Americans serve in uniform today. And when veterans step into public leadership, they help ensure that the experiences and the realities of military service remain understood and represented within our national dialogue. Ultimately, democracy is not self-sustaining. It requires participation. It requires leadership. And it requires citizens willing to step forward and serve in new ways when their nation calls. And veterans have already answered the call once, so it makes a lot of sense to keep serving. Those lessons that we learn, the lessons and the values that I talk about, they're not just military values, mind you. They're American values. So as we look forward to the future, let us encourage our veterans through programs like this to remain engaged in shaping the country that they fought to defend. Let us support those willing to enter public service. And let us remember that the strength of our democracy rests not only on our institutions, but on the character of those we choose to lead them. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you tonight. I hope you enjoyed it.
Top Gun before. I feel very safe here tonight. So thank you, General. Also, we'll have now Steve Sampson, who's President of Veterans in Politics, come up. Or we're not. It's like a little maze game. We also have Stephanie Phillips, who's the local affairs director. Oh, there's Steve. There he is. It was great. Hi. Where are you going? Oh, there he is. Hi. At least you have to serve him. Great.
Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight.
How's everybody doing today? I said, how is everybody doing today? For those of you that don't know me, my name is Steve Sampson. I'm president of Veterans in Politics. I'm also president of VIPI Consulting, and I want to say thank you all for coming here today. Give yourself a round of applause. Did I use this mic? Did I use it? Ooh. Okay. Is that good?
Charlie
Okay. I'm going to present a couple of Lifetime Achievement Awards. And before I present them, I just want to say that these two individuals are absolutely amazing. Veterans in Politics gave out a few Lifetime Achievement Awards in the past. The first award was given to Rolando Larraz, the owner of the Las Vegas Tribune, Carolyn Goodman, mayor of Las Vegas, and Shelley Berkeley, current mayor of Las Vegas. With that said, I'd like to invite Justice Michael Cherry. I need somebody with eyes because I can't read this. Could I get my wife, Heidi Hanusa, to come up here? Have anybody ever met my wife before?
Yeah. Still trying to figure out how she deals with you, but.
Heidi, could you read this?
Whole thing? Okay. On behalf of the members of Veterans in Politics International, I am honored to formally recommend an Honorable Michael Cherry, retired Supreme Court Justice, for recognition honoring a lifetime of distinguished judicial service and an unwavering commitment to the rule of law. I think that's all I can really do right now.
Justice Cherry has been an amazing person. He sat on the Clark County District Court for many, many years, and he became the Nevada Supreme Court Justice, and now he's a retired senior judge. And on behalf of Veterans in Politics, I'd like to give Justice Cherry this Lifetime Achievement recognition. Thank you so much, sir.
Too much love, drugs and medicine. You broke my will, but what a thrill. Goodness gracious, that house fire.
Well, I'm glad to be here tonight, and I want to accept this award, Steve, not as a 28-year attorney here, or a 8-year district court judge, or a 12-year Supreme Court justice, or a now 8-year senior justice and judge, but rather as Michael Cherry, First Lieutenant, United States Air Force Reserve. And I love going on the Steve show and getting in trouble. I do that all the time, and I'll keep coming back. And to all the candidates and incumbents, keep going. It's worthwhile. There's two ways to run a course: unopposed, as some of you are, scared, as some of you are. Because I know what it's like. I was lucky enough in 1998 to run with Gail Nathan and Sandy Pomerantz and Jim Mahan, and we all became very close friends, and we all became judges. So whether you win or lose, just keep coming back. It's worth it. It's worth doing this civic service. Because when you live in a community, and this is what my mom always taught me when I grew up in St. Louis, that if you live in a community, you got to give back. It makes it worthwhile to be a citizen of the state of Nevada and the United States. And General, that was magnificent, what you talked about. It made me think of Tom Cruise in Maverick. That was great. That was just a wonderful, wonderful explanation. I love being in ROTC at the University of Missouri. And yes, it taught me quite a bit. And then it actually allowed me to go to undergraduate. And then when it was time for law school, I asked the Air Force, can I go to law school? And they said yes, Lieutenant Cherry. And that's when I became a first lieutenant during law school. So thank you, Steve. Thank you, Veterans in Politics. God bless all of you. God bless America. God bless America.
Don't go away, folks. We got a couple more. The next gentleman I'm going to bring on stage, another Lifetime Achievement Award. Now this guy, he was in the state legislature. He was probably still is. I don't think he has his license though, but he was a doctor. And rumors said that he delivered every single baby in Boulder City. I'd like to bring up Mayor Joe Hardy of Boulder City. And I also like to introduce Kylie Tuckett, my son-in-law.
On behalf of the membership of Veterans in Politics International, we proudly present Lifetime Achievement Award of Mayor Joe Hardy in recognition of his extraordinary lifetime of service, steadfast leadership, and unwavering commitment to citizens of Boulder City in the state of Nevada. Mayor Hardy's legacy of service begins with his honorable service in the United States military, where he learned value of duty, discipline, and service above self, principles that would guide every chapter of his professional and public life. His military service laid the foundation for a career defined by responsibility, compassion, and an unshakable commitment to others. From Veterans in Politics, we thank you, Mayor Joe Hardy.
Goes along. There's probably about 5 paragraphs here. I'll just read them to you. The opportunity I had early in life was to appreciate my father who served in the Army Air Corps. And I heard those stories. And we lived close to Stead Air Force Base in Reno, Nevada. And because I went to the University of Nevada, Reno, it's land-grant college, and we had ROTC. And I was in Army ROTC. And I learned all about the M1 rifle weighing 9.1 pounds. And I realized I didn't want to be in the Army. And I applied for scholarship before I went to medical school for the various services, and the Army application was about that big, and the Navy application was about that big, and the Air Force application was that big. I did the Air Force. And one of the things that I appreciated with the military is when you came to a new base, you had friends. Albeit they were assigned, but they were your friends. And they helped you. And the camaraderie and the fraternity, men and women in the Air Force and in the military, was palpable, and they cared, and they were together. It wasn't just the mission, it was who they were and how they acted. And it has always impressed me ever since. The camaraderie and the willingness to have each other's back and to be able to do something that is hard to do. My hat is off for all of those who have served in the military and even in public health. We have been very blessed in this country. 250 years ago, as was mentioned earlier, where this all started. And I am grateful for my citizenship in this, the United States of America. I'm grateful for those who are willing to serve. What a unique opportunity we have to tonight. See all of those who not are only serving, but are willing to serve and continue to serve. Thank you so much for your willingness to serve, for your dedication, and putting up with all the things that you're going to put up with and you have put up with. It has blessings, not necessarily gratitude, but it has blessings. And may the Lord bless all of you, I pray. Thank you very much.
We have one more award, and I'd like to call up Kimberly Carter to accept this award on behalf of William Taylor. This is a humanitarian award recognition for B. Taylor. B is a global ambassador for the veterans, and he's a Navy veteran. He's a mogul superstar in the music business, a lot of rapping. He hangs out with guys by the name of Flo Rida and Ray J and those folks. I don't know if you're familiar with any of those, but he's also a music writer and producer. So on behalf of Veterans in Politics, we'd like to give this award, this humanitarian award, to William B. Taylor.
Good evening, everyone. I am Dr. Kimberly Carter. I am the Chief Operating Officer of One Life Organization, and I am honored to accept this award on behalf of B. Taylor. While he could not be here tonight, his life's work and his nonprofit, One Life Organization, reflects a deep respect for those who serve, our military, veterans, and first responders. B. Taylor would like everyone to know that this recognition belongs to the men and women who run towards danger, carry unseen burdens, and continue to serve long after the uniform comes off. As a United States veteran, Navy veteran, B. Taylor believes service doesn't end with duty. It continues through compassion, advocacy, and showing up for those who protect us all. On his behalf, thank you for this meaningful honor.
Thank you so much. It also does bring up a great point, all those people who run into danger, everyone who is fire or police or retired, thank you for your service. If you could stand, we really appreciate it. Also, in case you missed it, we have some great option items out here for the veterans. We have the suite at Suncoast. We have dinner for two at the 90 Bar and Grill, bowling, which is my favorite. And then we have science, sports, and political memorabilia, as well as sample treat box, and a 2-hour training class with friends and family farm trainer. Thank you. Also, can we have the mayor and any council members up for a group photo? Or did everyone leave? They left? All right. Any sitting judges still here for a group photo? All right, come up, please. And then after that, then we're going to have the candidates come up for a group photo. So don't leave. All right. People moseying up here in their red and black. I got some blue here too. Here, sit down. One more. She orders it. They do it. Sorry. Everybody scoot over. Just if you're taking the picture, somebody say it.
It's just asleep.
She's front center.
Good job. Good job. 3, 2, 1, smile!
Yay!
There you go.
And that's how we get He's well trained. He has like justice for you. Okay. Working good? Okay, thank you. Yay!
Did you get that?
Now there's some candidates up here, please.
Seems like they took a picture on it.
Single candidates.
But yeah. Freaking audio is a freaking crap.
Thank you all for coming. I appreciate you and your support of veterans. All people in the Thank you, Bill and TV. Thank you. Vegas.